Hi everyone, this is Sayanti bringing you another episode of Sayanti Fine Arts. Since this is Mermaid, I have been bringing you a lot of different water themed paintings with mermaids in different mediums so far. So today I thought let's keep on painting water. However, let's take the mermaid out of the water and just paint a simple crashing wave in mid-sea with oil pastels. So that's what we are going to do today. So as you can see, I am working on black paper today. Typically, I do not work very much on black paper when I'm working with oil pastels because it's kind of difficult sometimes to get the colors vibrant enough on black paper. By the way, I'm using a Strathmore artagain black paper here. However, you can use any black paper that you like, and all the other materials that I've been using are listed in the video description below as usual, so you can check them out. Anyways, so I'm working on a black paper this time because I thought that considering the colors are all different shades of blue and watercolor, sea colors, so it should not be a big deal. So that's what I'm trying to do. So initially I just started with some line sketches just to kind of do the framework with white oil pastel. Then as you saw, I applied some white followed by some very light blue, which is kind of like the sky color of blue. Then I'm using different shades of blue, actually various different shades of blue. I actually used 5 different shades of blue. I'm not even sure which one is called what. There are some very brilliant blues, some are like very dark indigo blues, and some are like the sky color, like a cerulean kind of blue. I'm also using grays here where it's kind of not looking as bright as a blue and not even as white as a white. Then I'm using gray. So yes, I'm using grays a lot over here, and yes, that kind of dulls down the colors along with that I'm pushing on top of it or underneath it. However, you top it with another layer of darker colors and it just works perfectly, because you need a lot of pigments at the very first layer just to get good coverage on the black color of the paper. So this time I'm not using any particular blending tool. What I'm using is just a piece of cloth. You can use your fingers directly, but instead I have wrapped a piece of cotton rag around my finger, and that is what I'm using to push in the pigments into the paper. And when I'm doing it, a lot of the colors are getting blended through, so whatever I have applied in some of the areas, they're not staying the true colors, which is totally fine because I want some of the colors to get blended. At this point, I'm just trying to assess how much pigment I already have on the paper and how much more I need to apply. I also brought in some shades of turquoise, which kind of looks a little bit greenish here and there. Now I took the white pastel and kind of trying to find a thinner edge of the pastel and drew some kind of fine lines to give a hint of the sea foams. Now I'm going back and blending those fine lines quite a bit. I don't want those harsh lines yet. I'm going to make a lot of sea foam like lines at the end of the painting to indicate those sea foams or lines that you see a lot in the waves, but not yet. I still got to apply a lot of pigment, get a lot of pigment on the paper first, get a lot of bright colors, and then I will apply some whites on top of the brights. Now I am whitening the edges. What I'm doing is I'm adding additional layers of white pastel, just pushing the pastel in to get a lot of pigment onto those areas so that they're very bright white to begin with. And then when I'm blending them, some of the blues are getting mixed with the white, which is totally fine. I'm going to add more and more white in the edges to indicate that crashing waves, the sea foam, and the splash of water and all of that. Now I am getting to some bright or darker blues, and I'm putting them in between. I don't want the darker blues or brighter blues everywhere. I just want them in between the lighter layers, and that what it does that is that it hypes up the contrast, like putting something really dark and really bright against something white or dull. or like white or gray, and that just takes your attention straight to those parts of the painting, and that is what my aim is by doing that. So now I've started painting some of the strias or lines, or the sea foam rather, what it actually is. Some of these lines I am still going to blend out with my finger, and some of the lines I'm going to keep as harsh line, because again that contrast is going to be eye-catching, what is going to look beautiful. If you do not have cotton rags, which almost everybody has, or do not want to use cotton rags, you can also use also fold up a piece of paper towel and use that for blending in case of that. And or you can use various methods of blending tools and all that. I have a complete video on that. I will link that in the video description, and I have a card pop-up as well. So that's about the blending part. Whatever you want to do, whichever particular method or tool suits you, do that. There is no rules that you have to do this to get the right painting. You should focus on the end results. Whatever works best for you, do that. Try different methods. I always keep on experimenting to try and find out different methods of blending, different methods of and techniques, and some work, some don't work, and I learn from my mistakes, and I find out what is the best thing about this technique and why I would use that technique instead of these. So that's pretty much about it for this painting. So at this point I do my general talks. However, there is still a bit going on in the painting. I'll just tell you that if you like the painting, do not forget to hit that thumbs up button. It means the whole world to me. It motivates me like anything, and makes me want to create more and more of these tutorials. If you can leave a comment, that would be terrific, and do not forget to subscribe so that you get notified each time I post a new video. I will see you next time. Thank you.